Now I want to take a look at the graphs of some exponential functions. So I want to sketch a graph of each exponential function. For the rest, I'm going to kind of ignore right now. Does the graph have characteristics you described in question 4? You can't even see question 4. But here's what I'm going to do in order to graph this exponential function. I'm going to create a table. I would consider enough values of x. So I just selected these, 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. These are what I'm going to input in for x into the equation to figure out the y value. So the first input, or the first number that I'm going to plug in for x, 0. So it would look like this, y equals 2 to the 0 power. You might need your calculator for that, but if you use your calculator, 2 to the 0 power is 1. So there's one ordered pair that I can graph. I'm going to figure out each of the values of y before I graph any of the points. Then the next number that I would substitute in for x is 1. Y equals 2 to the first power. 2 to the first power is 2. And then the next number I'm going to input for x, 2. 2 squared is 2 times 2. 2 times 2 is 4. Okay. The next number would be 3. Y equals 2 to the third power. You could either use your calculator or just do this in your head. 2 to the third power means 2 times 2 times 2. 2 times 2 is 4. Times 2 once more is 8. And then lastly, 2 to the fourth power, 2 multiplied by itself 4 times would be 16. So there's all the points that I could put on my graph. I'm going to make my x-axis right here. I'm going to go by ones on my x-axis. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then here's my y-axis. I'm going to try to fit all the points that I just figured out for y. I probably don't want to go by ones. Okay. I'm going to go by twos. So this is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and then 14. I'm labeling those on each of the axes. And I labeled my x-axis, I labeled my y-axis. 0, 1 is one of the points that I have on my table. 1, 2. Sorry, I have to scoot this over here. This is actually 0. This is 1, 2, 3, and 4. So 1, 2 is another point. 2, 4 is a third point. 3, 8 is a fourth point. And then 4, 16 is right up here. Even though I just put points on my graph, I could actually input 0.5 or 1/2, 2 to the 1/2 power. You can take that. It's going to be some sort of decimal. My point is this graph should actually be continuous. So I'm going to connect these points. It's not linear, so this is not a straight line. Even though I only went up to 4, I could have continued further. So I'm going to make an arrow at this end, and that's what the graph of y equals 2 to the x power specifically looks like.